Let's continue and talk about a tool in AutoCAD that's really, really important. And those are called O snaps. Here at the bottom, you see there's a little blue rectangle here, and it says snap cursor, and there's an arrow to the right of it. If I click on the arrow, these are all the O snaps that are available. Basically, this allows you to draw in AutoCAD with a great deal of precision. And this tool should always be turned on when you're working in AutoCAD. So, for example, right now, all the tools that are active, all the O snaps that are active are have checkboxes next to them. So choosing any of the others on the list will add a checkbox, and those options become available when you're working. So currently, only a few are turned on here. At the very bottom, if I choose Object Snap Settings, I can see the full menu here. It's another way of looking at the O snaps that are available. The ones in blue are active. The ones that are not blue are not active. And these are the symbols here that will appear while you're drafting if the OSNAP is activated. Currently, it's looking for endpoints, the ends of things, centers, the center of things, intersections where things crisscross, an extension. That's not normally one I normally use. I'm going to turn it off and hit OK. So let's do a quick exercise. I'm going to draw a line, horizontal line here, and go straight down. Escape. I'll draw another line here, somewhere here in space. Now, let's say I wanted to draw a circle exactly at the end of that line right there. So I go to the circle command or type C, enter. It says specify center point of the circle. Normally, you can just pick a point in space, but if I had to be very specific about where I want to draw the circle, I would take my cursor and hover over the end of something, and the O snap gets turned on. First, you get the little symbol, and as you get closer, it gives you the name of the O snap. So basically, what will happen is the center of the circle will jump to that specific location that's green currently. It's very, very precise. Click, and it's active. So when you see the icon appear, it'll launch that O snap and put the circle exactly where you want it to be. For example, here, let's say I want to draw a circle at this intersection. We'll need an intersection snap. So if I use C for circle and C enter, and I hover over this, X is the intersection snap. Once I see it, I can click and it activates the O snap. It places something exactly at the intersection. Click, draw a circle, and that's it. Now, as you get more used to using AutoCAD, what you're going to want to do is launch O snaps on the fly, meaning in the middle of a drawing, you can launch any O snap you want. I might have several O snaps available that currently are not active. If I want them to be active, I can launch them via a shortcut. Basically, the first three letters of the O snap: center, CEN, endpoint, END. So, for example, if I launch a line here and for whatever reason the O snap is not available, when it's asking for a specific point, I can find the O snap by typing. So, for example, here I can find the center of that circle, the end of that line, the end of this line, and the intersection right there. Let's say I want to draw a line from the middle of that horizontal line, the midpoint. I can either go here and turn on the midpoint snap here. It'll find the middle. Or while I'm working, L for line, in the middle of the command, I can type MID and enter, and AutoCAD will only look for the middle of something I'm hovering over. So if I highlight this line here, it finds the middle right there. I don't have to snap to the center or the middle. It will launch the middle snap automatically from anywhere. So if I'm over here and I click over here to the left, it will find the middle of that line and start my drafting from the middle. And it'll ignore all the other O snaps. So no matter where I put my mouse, it'll always look for that particular O snap. It's a way of overriding and being very specific of which tool you want to have active. click here. And so if I want, again, again, any tool, any OSNAP here that is important to you, near is one that basically lets you snap anywhere near an object. So let's say I want to snap to the circle perfectly near where my mouse is. Near snap is not currently active. If I type L and I want somewhere to be near here, you see it's launching the center. It thinks I want the center. Or if I hover over here, I think it wants the end or the intersection. But I want the near snap. And so it might launch a different location that I'm not really interested in right now. So in the middle of this command, I can type NEA, the first three letters, enter, and it'll basically let me snap anywhere near my mouse location. Here, 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 anywhere. Click, and it'll snap there perfectly. And then obviously, after you've done the work, uh, it goes back to the usual O snaps that are currently active, the ones with the check marks. Hit escape. And that's a quick tour of the O snap command. Now, in this final exercise, what I'll do is I'll erase this. I'll draw a rectangle. Here's the rectangle command. I'll pick a point on the screen, and I'll draw a rectangle that is 4 feet long and 2 feet tall. So uh, D for dimensions, 4 feet, enter, 2 feet, enter, and then just pick a location. Because again, it wants you to choose which quadrant to land. I'm going to click on the screen here. Z, enter, E, enter to zoom all, zoom extents. And then I want to basically find a location to put a circle here that is uh, 6 inches below and 3 feet to the right of this edge here. So a good place to do that would be create some temporary construction lines. And and then once they're completed, you simply erase the construction lines once you've drawn your object that uses the construction lines as an intersection point. So for example, here, go back to draw. Here is the construction line tool. And I'm basically doing offset. I know exactly how far away from an edge I want to draw a construction line. And so let's say I want to draw it down 6 inches from an edge. So I do offset, O for offset, and I type 6 inches. And then if I pick this line here, it wants to know, is it going to be above or below that line? I'm going to pick a point below that line, click, and that copied it down 6 inches as a X line. If I choose this line here and choose a location, it's going to continue the command. Escape, escape. I'm going to erase that line. Let's do another X line, this time a vertical X line. And let's make it 3 feet from this edge toward the right. In that case, I go into here, I go X line, and then I do offset. In this case, I do 3 feet, click, and I choose this line here, click to the right, and I've got that location right there. Escape, escape. So these lines here are here to allow me to draw a circle at that intersection. Let's make sure we got an intersection of snap. And I do. Okay. So let's draw a circle exactly here, and the circle be a diameter of 6 inches. So we'll draw a circle at the intersection of these two lines. So look for the X. There's the X. So the O snap is active. Click, it finds the intersection. D for diameter, enter. And then here you can type the diameter. In this case, 6. We don't type 6 inches because by default, everything you draw in AutoCAD is 6 inches. So we'll type 6, enter. And then when you're done, simply erase this line, delete, erase this line here, delete, and you've drawn something with a high degree of precision and placed objects exactly where you wanted to be in the diagram here. And we are done with this exercise. We'll see you next chapter.